Hey, everybody. We'll get rolling in just a minute here. Good to see everybody on. I'm going to share my screen with you in a few minutes and give you some great options for how to make this thing work long term. Everybody should be muted. You can go ahead and mute your line if you're not. I think you should be, though. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get on, and then we'll get rolling. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. We'll get rolling in just a second here. We're going to give you a little bit of a review of the advanced plan, and then some of my personal favorite products that I use, and some good resources for you. We might have some time for questions, just depending on how much we get through here. We'll get you rolling in just a second. All right, let's give it one more minute, and we will commence. All right, let me pull up my screen here, and we will get flying. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. And what I want to do at the beginning here is a little bit of review of the advanced plan, like what those rules are and how to make this work for you long term. So just to set the stage a little bit, we want this to be winning the challenge for life, not winning the challenge for 30 days or a month or 2 weeks or something like that. We want to really win this thing for life, because everything that I talked about at the makeover on Saturday, by the way, I had a great time there. It's great to see all you guys there. A lot of new faces, a lot of new guests, newer patients. So that was a lot of fun. But really what I'm talking about is how to change from a death style, which is the United States. It's not a lifestyle, it's really a death style. You know, we've reversed life expectancy in our country twice in the last 6 years. We're going backwards, and it's largely due to just all the stuff that's been going on in these last 50 or 60 years, like I discussed on Saturday. And so I don't want you to just do this thing so it's like a diet. We want you to build habits that are going to last long term. I was just talking to somebody today, and she's like, you know what, I've made some changes. We still do, you know, we do stevia and we do some other things that you recommend. And that's what I mean. Like, even though it's not perfect, it's still, they've improved a lot. It's a lifestyle now, right? And for me, this is really a lifestyle, and I want to help it become that for you as well. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks today that's going to make it a lot easier for you. But think of this as a change to your behavior and a change to your eating, not a diet, okay? Because diets don't work. Diets have the word die in them. So we want this to be an eating plan, not a diet. And we want this to really enhance your life. That's why this is called winning the challenge for life. So 6 rules on the advanced plan that really make this work. Number 1, make the commitment to the advanced plan. Okay. Be honest with yourself about your weaknesses. If you're going to do this for 30 days, just go ahead and make the decision to do this for 30 days. It does not work if you got like one toe in the water to see how it's gonna come around. This only works if you commit to the thing, right? Because, and here's why I'm saying that. Remember I said on Saturday, what you take out of your diet is more important than what you put in. So if you take things out for 7 days and then you have a day where you added all of them back in, you haven't given yourself a chance to heal yet. All right. I used to call this the healing diet. Because that's what you're doing. You're healing on this thing. So remember, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to stop eating grain so I lose a little bit of weight. No, think about what's physically happening in your body. You are healing. Okay. So make the commitment to it and then be honest with yourself about whatever weaknesses you have. Maybe it's chocolate, ice cream, snacks, chips. And I'm going to give you solutions for all of that in a few minutes because we got to have substitutions there. Number two, read labels on everything that you buy and eat. You'll begin to teach yourself what's in the food. And it's amazing, like we said the other day, where sugar is hiding. I'm going to give you some examples of that today as well. But you got to be a food label ninja. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Remove all temptations from your home. So when I started doing the plant paradox, which again is very similar to what I was teaching on Saturday, we threw out everything in the kitchen that had sugar and grains in it. Like everything just had to go. And the cupboard looked a little bit bare, but at least we didn't have anything that was going to tempt us. And then we just replaced it with good substitutions. And the cool thing about this is I would not say my diet's a whole lot different now than it was a month and a half ago in terms of what I still get to eat. Like today I had an egg salad sandwich and an apple, Granny Smith apple. I had a carrot, and then I had some guacamole and chips afterwards. For breakfast, I had a frittata, you know, with eggs and spinach and some other veggies in there that were really great. Tonight we're going to have chicken, and I think we're going to have some of that almond flour pasta and a big salad. So it's not like I'm starving myself and just eating Melba toast, right? So well, again, we'll show you what to do, but you got to get rid of the stuff that's going to tempt you. Stock the kitchen with advanced healing diet friendly snacks. I'm going to show you some of those today, some hacks and things that you can start putting in your cupboard really easily. And then you want to make sure you're planning for the week. Again, I'm going to show you more about how to do that and how to make that work. Is if you fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail. And then the last one, this is really important, utilize an accountability partner. This is going to help you from cheating. If you're doing this with someone else, it's just so much easier. You know, recently my daughter's like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. You want to go get some ice cream? And I was having a good, you know, moment of kind of self-control. And I was like, you know, I really don't want to. I feel like I've worked too hard for this to you know, exit my healing. And she's like, yeah, that's a good call. You know, so if it would have just been her, she probably would have, you know, driven down and gotten Dairy Queen or something. So what we're doing here is having an accountability partner that can help you through your tough times and help share your wins with you as well. Okay, so food label ninja. What does it mean to be a food label ninja? Well, number one is you're going to look at three things when you pick up a food label. Okay, you're going to look at sugars, fats, and toxins. Okay, sugar and serving size. Number one, you're going to be sleuthing out sugar. So sugars, fats, and toxins. So sugar, number one, remember, and I'm going to show you again a couple of examples of that in a minute. You're going to look for total sugar grams, and then you're also going to look at the type of sugar that they put in it. We're going to look for brown rice syrup. We're going to look at cane syrup. We're going to look at evaporated cane sugar. We're going to look at all of those things, but then you can also look at sugar grams to see how many grams are in there. And ideally, you're going for maybe 1 or 2 grams of sugar in any serving of anything that you're eating. Anything more than that is going to throw you into that inflammatory mode that we talked about on Saturday. Serving size is important to look at because you can pick up, like my example is always like there's tea. If you pick up like an iced tea, a peach iced tea from Sprouts, it has like 9 grams of sugar, and you might think, oh, that's not too bad, but it actually is 2.5 serving sizes in there. So it's a bottle this big. It's not very big, but they just shrink the serving size down. So if you look at 2.5, it's really got 20 grams of sugar in it if you drink the whole bottle. So you're going to look at serving size. We're going to look at fats. Remember, we're going to be looking at bad fats versus good fats. Good fats are going to be avocado oil, coconut oil. Those are going to be olive oil. Those are the good oils that you're looking for. The bad oils are going to be canola oil, vegetable oil, those types of oils. Okay. And then the last one is going to be toxins, which is real simple. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. If you can't say it, don't eat it. So pretty simple there. Those are your three main things you want to focus on when you're reading a food label. So now let's give you some examples. Okay. So this was the Cliff Bar I showed you the other day. And when we're looking at a Cliff Bar or anything like this, you kind of got to look at this. Is this really a health food or is this not a health food? And actually, let me go back to that. So here's how we're going to find that out. First thing I'm going to look at up here is going to be sugar. Okay. So it'll be somewhere around carbohydrates. And then they'll list sugar. So there's 22 grams of sugar. Remember, that's more than women should have almost in an entire day. And it's almost as much as a man should have in an entire day. You don't want to be getting all of your sugar from this. So right there, I'd be putting this down. But if you want to learn a little bit, where's the sugar come from? Organic brown rice syrup. Okay, and so the first ingredient is always the most plentiful in anything that you're reading, any food label. So when it's the number one ingredient, that means this is mostly sugar. If this said, soy flour or something like that. That means there's more soy flour than anything. But what this means is this is mostly organic brown rice sugar syrup. And then you got organic rolled oats. That's the second most plentiful ingredient. That turns to sugar. Remember, that's a grain we're getting rid of. And then organic cane syrup, which is more sugar. And that's how you're getting your 22 grams of sugar right there. Okay. So there's a few other things in there that I'm not a huge fan of. Soy protein isolate is one of those. Again, we don't need more processed soy in our diet. So that would be one that I wouldn't eat. So let me give you some examples. And these are things that have absolutely worked for me and I've been using a lot recently. Most of these are empty or torn up packets because I've already eaten them before I took a picture. So I told you I had an egg salad sandwich today. So here's what I did. This was my bread in quotation marks. So these are sandwich thins made of cauliflower. So the ingredients are like cauliflower, eggs, and I think a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So if you look at, I don't have the back of it on here, but if you look at the front, it's 1 gram of net carbs. There's 3 ingredients. A net carb means the carbohydrates that are actually going to get absorbed by your body. So only 1 gram of carbohydrates and 0 grams of sugar. Okay. 1 serving of vegetables. Okay. So because it's cauliflower. And just very simple ingredients. All right. So I use this. So those come, I think we got these either at, I think we got them at Vitamin Cottage or Natural Grocers. You can also get almost all of these online if you look at Amazon or Whole Foods. So this is Outer Aisle Plant Power Sandwich Thins. So I had eggs, and then I used this as my my mayonnaise. So this is olive oil, or avocado oil mayonnaise, like I was telling you about earlier at the event. So the ingredients: avocado oil, filtered water, egg yolks, right? Distilled vinegar, organic mustard, water. There's nothing in there that would go against anything we talked about on Saturday. So great ingredients there, natural ingredients from food. And then if you look down here, we're looking at carbohydrates, 0 grams of carbohydrates, 0 grams of sugar. So I'm good to go. That's what I made my egg salad with. Then I had a carrot, and I had a Granny Smith apple. I had some pistachio nuts. And then for dessert, I had this brownie bites here. This is Fat Snacks. This is something we got off of Amazon. And so again, 0.3 grams of net carbs, no sugar. Whenever you see it's keto friendly, it's going to be generally friendly on the advanced plan as well. And this is made with almond flour. Okay, so the main flour in there is almond flour. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So really easy, simple lunch to do. Somebody asked, what's the mayo called? I do not know. I'll have to look it up and see. So, and you can get this, again, that's something you can get at King Soopers for sure. It's something you can get at Walmart online. A lot of these places, a lot easier to find this stuff now than it used to be. So these are great for your sugar cravings. Tastes like a brownie. It's got little like chocolate chips in it as well. Absolutely fantastic. And it's got, again, no sugar. And if it's keto friendly, like this says keto friendly, I think this says it somewhere on there too. Generally, keto friendly is going to be no sugar. Okay, that's what that's going to mean, and that would qualify for you guys. Okay, breakfast. This is something I had yesterday. So I had Birch Bender's Paleo waffles. Paleo is generally going to be okay for the advanced plan as well. The only thing the paleo people do that I don't necessarily agree with is they use honey as a sweetener. So you got to watch out for that. But this does not have any honey added to it. So no gluten, no grain, right? So this is tiger nut flour. Tiger nut flour is similar to almond flour. These are just like Eggos that you grew up with. Pop them in the toaster and you're good to go. So no sugar added. So if you turn this over on the back, I think there's 1 gram or 2 grams of sugar. So completely fine there. So I toast those, and then I use almond butter. So I put some almond butter on there. Again, no sugar. Then I put this Lakanto maple syrup. Again, keto friendly. If you're saying this is starting to make sense, keto is usually going to work as well. Sugar-free and keto. All right. Now on the back, it's sweetened with monk fruit. This is actually the brand of monk fruit that I buy is this Lakanto, and they make a maple syrup sweetened with monk fruit. So 0 sugar, 1 carbohydrate, keto friendly. So that's what I put on there. I do the paleo waffle. I do the almond butter, a little bit of the strawberry jelly. And this is no sugar added. That's sweetened with stevia. Again, it says keto right here, right? And this is I believe it's called the Go brand. And this is the Lakanto syrup. So Birch Benders, you can get these at Target. You can get them at almost any health food store, and you can get them online as well. Okay. All right, here's some more. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, you know, if you want to type them in the chat, I'll try to get to those at the end. But let me give you a few more examples. I told you I was going to tell you about the almond flour pasta that I had the night before the event on Saturday, and this is it. It's Capello's almond flour pasta. 4 grams of protein, grain-free. Remember, that's number 2 rule of the advanced plan, is we're getting rid of grains. So there's only 3 ingredients in this. It is almond flour, it is eggs, and man, there's one other, tapioca starch. So when you're using something like tapioca starch, or these over here, these are Siete grain-free tortilla chips. These are made with like root vegetables. Okay, like tapioca is like a root vegetable. So again, you look on the back, there's no sugar added. All right, so 0 sugar. So this works great. It's frozen and it's like fresh pasta. So you got to drop it in the water for about 90 seconds before you use it. They make spaghetti. They make all kinds of different ones. So super easy to use and tastes really, really well. All right. And then we have here grain-free tortilla chips. These are Siete tortilla chips. And I'll go back through these so you can write some of these down as well. I'm also recording this webinar, so I'll post it. I'll try to send everybody a recording if possible. If not, I'll post it on YouTube and we'll get you, that's on our Axiom YouTube page. So if you go to Axiom Health Solutions, I'll make sure this gets posted on the YouTube page as well. So I think I can email it to you though. So I'll try that first. Okay, so Siete, so if you just write down Siete brand, they make tortilla chips, they make tortillas, they make taco shells, and all of these are going to be, again, grain-free, no sugar added, made with avocado oil. So if you look at what's in these, it's a little hard to read, but this is the ingredient off of the Siete version here. So it's made with cassava flour. Cassava is a root vegetable, almost like a sweet potato, but it has really very little bit of flavor and it's not a grain, so it's not going to trigger that big inflammatory response. So cassava flour, avocado oil, remember that's one of our good oils. And then we're going to get to, this has coconut sugar. Somebody asked the other day, what about coconut sugar? Coconut sugar is an acceptable sweetener as well, but basically what you want to look at is how much sugar is in there. I think it's nearly impossible to see, but the sugars are 2 grams. So 2 grams of sugar in 1 serving, and 2 grams of sugar is fine. So there's a very little bit of coconut sugar in there as well. So these are great. This is what I had my guacamole with today. Guys, this is so much easier than it used to be 10 years ago when I wrote the book. I mean, this stuff wasn't available. So it's really, you don't have to give up a lot. You're just being smart with what you're eating. So that's another great go-to for you. If you want the salty chips, then that's going to be your weakness. Then you want to make sure you pick these up. Okay. And then for you people with sweet tooth like myself, I love chocolate. So Lily's chocolate, less sugar. It's sweetened actually with stevia. There's no sugar added. Stevia sweetened right there. 1 gram of sugar. Again, we're good there, right? And these are chocolate covered caramels. So they're kind of like Milk Duds. They are ridiculously good. It's hard to believe that there's 1 gram of sugar in these things. So I have these, you know, in my pantry on a regular basis. I'll have a couple of those. They're great, and they get rid of that sugar craving. Other Lily's products you can get a Lily's bar, you know, like an extra dark chocolate Lily's bar, again sweetened with stevia. Really good chocolate. They have a salted caramel one that's really good. So fantastic company. Lily's is a fantastic company. So hopefully this is making some sense in terms of things that you can start adding to your cart when you go to the grocery store. So what we've hit, again, the Plant Power sandwich thins. Those are the cauliflower buns, basically. You can make your own keto bread if you want to. It just doesn't taste nearly as good as these, so I would just rather do that. The Fat Snacks brownie bites, these are fantastic. This is the avocado oil mayo. Lakanto maple syrup, sweetened with monk fruit. You got a keto-friendly strawberry jam here as well. Birch Bender's paleo waffles. All kinds of good stuff. Now, I wanted to give you an option also for what you could do for non-toxic products. A lot of people were asking me today in the office, like, okay, I looked up my shampoo. What should I do differently? I want, you know, or dish soap. I want to get like Mrs. Meyer's dish soap because they said EWG said that one was a really good one. So some great patients came up after the event and asking me if I had heard about Grove Collaborative. I had not. And so basically this is a one-stop shop for non-toxic products. And it's kind of like an Amazon Prime. I think if you pay, it's like $10 or $20 a year and you get free shipping. I haven't looked into that yet. I just pulled it up here today, but it looks great. So it's grove.co, like collaborative, www.grove.co. And so if you just look up Grove Collaborative or Grove Non-Toxic, it has household products, it has personal care products, it has pet products, it has beauty products, it has all of these things. So it has like Mrs. Meyer's dish soap. This is one of the ones that's great on the environmental working group. Mrs. Meyer's hand soap, again, great on the environmental working group. Doesn't have sodium lauryl sulfate and all the things that we talked about. So I think this would be a really good option. So I think they'll ship it to your house like once a month. You can cancel the orders anytime that you want. And it's just one less thing that you have to think about, pretty simple. Interestingly enough, though, a lot of these things you can also get at Target. You can find that Target's doing a pretty good job with this, the non-toxic product. So that might be something you want to check out there as well. Okay, let's talk about planning and preparation a little bit here. So planning and preparation is, to me, it means you have to make sure this is something that you're going to do on a weekly basis, or else it gets to be a real problem. Because if you get caught hungry, that's where we're going to fail, right? If you're like, man, it's Monday at lunch, my Monday got away from me, there's nothing to eat, I'm going to come home, there's a frozen pizza, I'm just going to eat that. There's better options, right? So what we do for my wife and I to stick with this is we pick a day and we plan our meals for the week. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to use the supplement, the 20 and 30 in just a minute, but we're going to plan our meals for the week. Okay. So that's usually Sunday for us. We'll say, what are we going to eat? Are we going to go out to eat at all? And I start thinking about, okay, what am I going to have for breakfast? So usually like on Sunday, I'll make a frittata. And it's really simple. I sauteed spinach, onions, and asparagus in an avocado oil. Then I put 6 eggs, whipped them up with some almond milk, put them in the pan, cooked it about halfway, stuck that in the oven, put a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top, and then took it out. And it's 4 servings. So it's in a pretty good sized pan. And I just took it out, and really simple and easy to use. Cut it into 4s. Put it in my Pyrex dish, and I had that again for breakfast this morning. And then I'll have that again for breakfast probably tomorrow, and then I'll move on to like the waffles. So I'm big on leftovers. It's huge. So pick a day and plan your meals for the week. Make enough for leftovers. Okay, so I have my little Pyrex dishes that I'm going to have in the kitchen that we always have in the fridge. We had salmon last night, so there was salmon in there. So I know for lunch tomorrow I can make salmon salad. I can put my piece of salad or salmon on a salad. So my salad would look like greens. I'll do like some carrots. I will do like red onion. What else do I put on there? Like strawberries. Put some strawberries on there as well. Maybe some Granny Smith apples, some almonds, or like walnuts. Then I'll put my protein on top, and then I just use like avocado oil or olive oil and balsamic vinegar. That's my dressing. So really simple, straightforward salad. But I always want to have a protein that I can put on there. So that's why I say here, prep your veggies. Like if you want veggies cut up, then prep those. You can get a salad spinner to keep your lettuce, fresh and crisp. And that's really simple. Somebody asked why just Granny Smith apples. Granny Smith apples are very low on the glycemic index, so they're kind of tart and sour. Some apples, like a Honeycrisp apple, very high in sugar still, right? So during this 30 days, Granny Smith apple is much lower on the glycemic index. They don't turn to sugar nearly as quickly. So you're going to be grilling chicken or whatever you're going to be grilling. Grill some extra on Sunday. Like if we grilled chicken or we grilled salmon last night, we grilled extra so that we could have that as salmon salad, or we could put it on our salads, or you could put it on a sandwich. There's a lot that you can do. So grill some extra chicken breast, and that's one of my go-to tricks, is have that in the fridge. So when you want to make a salad with some chicken on it, it's easy to do. Know your store and what you buy where. Like there's certain things that we can't get at King Soopers. We can get a lot of things at King Soopers, but occasionally we're going to need to go to Natural Grocers, or we're going to get on Amazon and buy some things. So you'll get in the rhythm, where you're like, okay, I use that avocado mayo every 2 weeks. So I'll probably need to go to, Vitamin Cottage or Natural Grocers every 2 weeks. So, but generally you can find a lot of this stuff at King Soopers. They have like Redbird chicken, which is a really good brand of, free range chicken. They have Applegate Farms. I believe they have Applegate Farms, like chicken sausages. So, some of their meat is really good. You can get some grass-fed meat there as well. So, you just want to know what you're going to buy where. And then Amazon auto ship is one of my go-tos. Like I get an Amazon auto ship every month of my Lily's products. So I don't have to think about those things. I'm going to get those caramels. I'm going to get a couple of the bars. They make these peanut butter cups that are killer as well. So I do that. And those are just showing up to my house. So I don't really have to think about them. All right. So let me go here and then I'm going to come back to this in a second. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, so I did want to show you this. Okay, so this is how to use the 20 and 30 plan. Okay, so you got the PDF sent to you. This is the PDF. So it starts with chapter 9, the 20 and 30 challenge. We call that 20 and 30 because we see people lose 20 pounds in 30 days on a regular basis. And it has the 20 and 30 meal plan. Okay, now if you scroll all the way to the end, you're going to see the shopping guide. Select down here. And recipes. So like if you go to chapter 10, so you have to scroll quite a bit through it, and you're going to see the grocery list for week 1 and 3, because it goes week 1 and 3 and week 2 and week 4, they're the same. So here's your grocery list. Here's the things that you would need to get if you're buying everything on there. Okay, now you're not necessarily going to need to buy everything on there if you don't want to eat all of it, but then you can see here's your recipes. Here's what the chicken salad is. Here's the Chinese cabbage salad, guacamole, hummus, make your own hummus, which is phenomenal. Mashed potatoes, roasted vegetables, black bean fiesta soup, easy advanced plan chili, which is one of my favorites because you can make leftovers. Here's the sauces, here's the smoothies for to use with your protein powder. So all of that there, okay? So that's all there towards the end of that PDF. And then up here, this is your meal plan. So Monday, cheesy scrambled eggs, use almond milk to mix with the eggs. So that's your breakfast. Snack, half a cup of raw almonds. Lunch, green salad with grilled or baked chicken, hopefully that you made on Sunday night. A little bit of olive oil and balsamic vinegar, right? So you can put any veggies in there that you want. And then another snack in the afternoon if you want that. So celery sticks with hummus. And then easy advanced plan chili for dinner. And then you're going to see over here for lunch, advanced plan chili for lunch the next day because you're going to make enough for leftovers. Now there's no magic. Like I said, there's no magic to Thursday. You have the half a cup of Greek yogurt with fresh berries. If you're like, I don't really like yogurt, but I liked the half a cup of walnuts, just go with that for a snack. Or I like the nuts and seeds, or I like the hard boiled egg with salt and pepper. That's fine. Just find a couple of the snacks that you like for when you get hungry. So I love hard boiled eggs. I love having those available, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm good to go. Love those. But this gives it to you. Now it can be a little tough to eat out if you're really sticking through this. Like I haven't been to a restaurant in a while. I went for my birthday. We went to Eddie V's, which is like a steakhouse, which is usually a pretty safe bet if you're going out. Because you can get I got fish. I think I had some sashimi. I had a salad, and then I had fish as my entree with like Brussels sprouts, right? So I was able to pull that off. Now I couldn't do that at, like Jersey Mike's or something like that. That's somewhere I would probably not go if I was eating out and I was really sticking to this thing. Although there are ways to do that. So going out or eating out, I have this out to dinner ordering, right? So things you can order for breakfast, like if I did go to Doug's Day Diner, veggie omelet with a cup of berries. Just don't give me the hash browns or the bread, right? Italian, what can you eat in an Italian place? What you can eat at a Mexican place, Asian place, bar and grill, all of those. So those are all things that you can do that make this a lot more simple. Like at a Mexican place, for instance, get the pitas, leave the tortillas, you still get all the flavor. A lot of them, they'll do sliced jicama, which is a root vegetable, and you can dip that in your guacamole. You could probably even take your own chips, those siete chips that we just talked about. You could probably pull that off as well. So you can do this eating out, but really the key is like you want to make sure you're preparing a lot of this. Another good way to do it is MyFitFoods that I told you guys about on Saturday. A lot of their stuff is advanced plan approved. Like I had the buffalo chicken with mashed cauliflower, so the mashed potatoes. So if you want to get some things so you don't have to cook all the time, make leftovers, or check out MyFitFoods. A lot of their things, they have one called Caveman Steak. It's just steak and asparagus, so there's one with salmon and asparagus. So lots of pretty simple ways to do this if you don't want to cook all of the meals. So you can eat out. Like if I went out to, what do I say, like Chipotle or somewhere like that, I could go to Chipotle and I would just get, you could do a salad, right? And so you could just do lettuce And then you're going to get your whatever salsa that you want. You could get some sour cream and guac on there, whatever, chicken or shredded beef or whatever that you want as well. So it's totally doable. But I really recommend at the beginning, stick to this meal plan as much as you can because it absolutely works. And I promise you'll feel better. I got a question that asked about Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread, not until you're done with the advanced plan. Ezekiel bread is still a grain. Okay, now it's better than normal grain, a sprouted grain bread, which is better for you, better for your gut. But no Ezekiel bread on the advanced plan because it's still grain. It's still going to trigger those inflammatory factors that I was talking about. All right, so let me bring this back up here. Okay, a couple more things for you. We have some things coming up. I want to show you Grandma Judy's cookbook as well. Here's the bottom line with this. I just want to encourage you. If you're on this webinar right now and you started thinking about this, here's what I promise. If you do this, you will be healthier than you've ever been because I know what it does to inflammation. It just completely gets rid of inflammation. Like my digestion is so much better. I sleep so much better. I had this nagging knee pain that is gone. All right. I didn't do anything other than just do the plan that I'm doing right now. My knee pain is gone. But on top of that, I know I'm slowing down the aging process. My brain's working better. Like everything is so much better. Somebody mentioned they have cauliflower rice at Chipotle, and yes, they do. That's an awesome way to go. So the bottom line is if you do this, you will feel better. Like this, there's no two ways about it. It just absolutely works because you're getting rid of the things that are making you sick. And by the consequence of that is you're going to be putting a lot of good foods in your body that you would not normally be getting if you're just eating pizza. So, and I will also tell you this, that this is the solution to coming out of our health crisis that we're in. And you think COVID is a health crisis, COVID's a big deal, but 650,000 people die of heart disease every year. 600,000 people die of cancer every single year. 400,000 people die every single year from taking medication. That dwarfs COVID, and that happens year after year after year after year, right? So if we really, and by the way, if we did this and we reversed all of those chronic diseases for people, the numbers for our COVID would be so much less, so much less. If you talk to me in the office all day, you probably saw the article. We talked about why PCR testing and is so up in the air and why we're getting so many false positives because they're not doing the PCS or PCR test right when you're doing a COVID test. So we don't even really know what the numbers are, but anybody dying from it is too much. But so much of it's happening because we have those 5 factors that we need to be associating and getting rid of with the advanced plan. So if you do those, you'll get rid of those. Like your everything starts to improve. Somebody asked, can you freeze in a plastic tub? I don't recommend using plastic just because that's phthalates. And we talked about those endocrine disruptors. So I really only store my food in Pyrex dishes, which are the glass dishes with the plastic top. The top just doesn't touch it. But back to just the encouragement, like you will see a massive change in your health, I promise you. And what I also want to encourage you is that be the light and the example for other people. The main sentiment I got the other day after I was talking was like, I wish X could have been here. Did you record this? Could you get this to me so I can get it to the people at my work, or my pastor needs to hear this or whatever? Because people understand, like, man, they just don't know. People don't know what they don't know. And when you go through this, your eyes get open. And I always say, once you see, you can't unsee. Once you smell, you can't unsmell. Like it's a wake up. So what we really, our heart as an office is we want to change the health of the way people view and manage their health in our country. So if there's people around you that are sick and you want to get them on track, there's a couple simple ways to do that. Okay, so 2 ways you can help us spread the word. And I'll tell you about Grandma Judy's cookbook. Number 1 is we do workshops in the community, whether it's online like this, like I did a workshop for a real estate group recently. I had 100 people on there. I got about 20 minutes to go through how to be healthy in the new year, how to make sure your immune system is functioning. We talked about vitamin D and COVID, and they had so many questions for me afterwards. They're like, why is nobody talking about this? So I do workshops either in person, we did that more before COVID, but people are starting to open up a little bit now. So it could be any group that you're a part of. I'm going to do a knitting group. It could be a real estate agents group. It could be your office. It could be your church. The most popular workshops that we do, I don't charge anything for this. I donate about 4 hours a month of my time. We do Stress Less America. That's probably our most popular one. I just did one of those for a school recently to the teachers for their continuing education. Titanium Immune System, which is everything we've been talking about with COVID. So how to reduce your inflammation, raise your vitamin D level so you can be proactive instead of just being terrified. You can actually be proactive in building your health. And then also Rocket Fuel Nutrition, which is a lot of what we covered on Saturday. So the 3 changes that you can make to boost your nutrition. Those are all about 20 to 40 minutes long. I will do those anywhere you want me to do them. I would just need to get put in touch with whoever sets up your wellness, whoever your wellness coordinator is, or if you're a part of a group, you can set it up. I'm doing a multiple sclerosis support group soon. One of our patients is a member. He's like, yeah, I want to have you come talk. Anywhere that you do public speaking, that's what I do. I love doing that. So if you want to do that, all you have to do is shoot me an email. It's eshoemake1@gmail.com, and I'll help figure that out. If you have an HR person at work that you want me to work with, I do that a lot. I do a lot of corporate wellness, but any of these small groups, that's really what I'm committing to this year, because people are so desperate for health after this year that we just went through. They've been so disempowered, they're ready to take their health back. And then second option, if you've been working on getting somebody in the office, but they just won't listen to you. I get that a lot. Dr. Eric, I can't get this person to listen to me, even though they're having migraines. I know you could help them. That's what I'm for. That's what Dr. Ashley is for. So put them in front of us. You know, it's really simple. Instead of you trying to explain the vagus nerve and how the body functions and the function of the nerve system, we do dinner with the doc. So that's where you bring your friend to dinner. We get you a meal from MyFitFoods, so it's a nice healthy meal. You get to order in advance. Everybody eats while we do about a 30-minute talk, and we provide dinner there, and we go through what health actually is, what healthcare versus sick care. We go through the function of the nervous system. We talk about nutrition and anti-inflammatory diet. We talk about chiropractic care, and then any of those people that you bring that wants to have a chance to get checked in the office, we offer them a discount. I've seen so many people's lives change because somebody said, I've told them 30 times, but finally they listened to me and came to this dinner and their lives are transformed. So we have one coming up on February 3rd. So that's next week, 6:30. We do that in the office. We can only have, I think, 12 people there with social distancing, but we do it in the office. Super easy, great way for people to meet us and talk to us. So whoever you know that is out there that's still in the freezing cold waters, that is the American healthcare system, how do we get them out of that water, out of the water, back onto the lifeboat instead of seeing them go down with the Titanic? So this is a great way to do that. Again, easy way to do that is you can talk to Maggie or just shoot me an email at eshoemake1@gmail.com. So those are the things. You can either help us set up a talk in the community or bring someone to dinner. And I always believe in rewarding anybody who cares about other people and helps us reach more people. So for anybody who does that, we're going to give you Grandma Judy's cookbook. This is an absolute killer, because what she did is she took everything that she learned about the advanced plan, and then she took everything that she learned and said, I'm going to learn how to make all of the stuff that I love. So she's got like this asparagus chicken casserole. She's got flautas. She's got pancakes. She's got a breakfast cereal you can make. She's got blueberry muffins. She has vanilla pudding, brownies, crepes. And the cool thing about Grandma Judy is she can absolutely cook. So I have these in the office. So if you want one of these, very simple, shoot me an email at eshoemake1@gmail. Let me know where you want me to come speak. I'd be happy to set that up with you. Or you can bring someone to dinner with the doc on Wednesday, February 3rd. So I think we're about out of time. Maybe a chance for a couple more questions. What type of salmon do I recommend, farm or Atlantic? Absolutely wild caught salmon. Farm salmon is no longer fed what it should be fed. It's fed corn usually. It's fed a grain. So, which is high in omega-6 fats, which cause inflammation. So farm-raised fish is out. You want to make sure you get wild-caught fish. That's going to be a much better option. Any other questions you want to type in the chat? I think we got about 2 minutes left here. Somebody said they use Growth and it's great. So that's the co-op I was telling you about. It's fantastic. Suggestions for face lotion. I'll have to ask my wife on that one. The regular lotion we use is, I can't remember. I think it's Alba Botanica, but that would be, you could hop on the environmental working group, ewg.org, Skin Deep, and then just search face lotion and they'd be able to tell you a good one. So, all right, guys. So hopefully you got what you needed from that. If you have any questions, you can talk to us in the office. You can shoot me that email at eshoemake1@gmail. Be happy to answer any of those for you, but really want to encourage you. This is totally doable and it's totally worth it. So stick with the plan, use your resources, use us as a resource, spread the word, and let's make this thing happen.